Hello, friends. Let's talk about relational stress today. Scientific research tells us that being in a coupled, intimate partner relationship is the best way to be. It gives both partners an anchor in life, in love, and all kinds of support ranging from mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. Sometimes the stresses in life can elevate each partner's internal stress, and with the right partner, they can weather the storm together. And sometimes in relationships, when things aren't going all that easy, each partner's commitment and good communication and willingness to work together in that partnership can really bring so much satisfaction, stability, and warmth, and a sense of growth to each partner. But that's not the case in toxic relationships, whether that's from family, friends, intimate partner, or work. Sometimes toxic relationships can involve emotional and psychological abuse. There is really a cycle to it. It starts with heaven, with idealization, loving everything about the partner, and love bombing. And the second phase is devaluation, and that has a lot of confusion and criticism. And the third phase is called discard, or hell, where you may see silent treatment, stonewalling, and isolation. And guess what? This cycle repeats over and over and over again. These toxic relationships involve relational chaos and confusion with a push-pull, stop-start dynamic that overwhelms the body, the mind, and the spirit. In toxic relationships, there is low support for the partner. This means that your emotional needs may go unmet. You may even stop asking for what you need. And these relationships have poor to no communication, where there is an inability and an unwillingness to talk through the problems to get to any resolution. When things go far too long without resolution and stability, it causes great toxicity, thereby causing a lot of major health issues. Relational stress causes general distress, anxious arousal, and major psychological functioning issues. That toxic stress becomes so toxic to our own health because the stress comes from our relationship that typically is a source of support and happiness. Relational stress is devastating for both the mind and the body. And if we think about it, relational stress adds to one person's allostatic load. And an allostatic load represents the cumulative effect that chronic stress has on a person's mental and physical health. There's like a wear and tear on the mind and body that happens over time from life's events and relational stress. And when there is so many life events and so much relational stress, it overloads a person's ability to cope. And when a person can't cope, that means they have high allostatic load. With high allostatic load, that comes chronic stress that impacts the body with hormonal and nervous system responses. These responses increase the inflammatory response in the impacted person's body, which leads to all sorts of physical and mental issues and symptoms. Not only can relational stress create physical and mental issues, but it can even intensify the issues we may already have. Many health problems can totally be exacerbated by stress, and this is seen in a lot of studies. Chronic, unresolved relational conflict and distress are associated with poor physical and mental health. And individuals in toxic relationships that are fueled with emotional and psychological abuse need to consider the impacts of these type of relationships on their health very seriously. Here are 7 major health issues that can come from relational health. And I see these health issues in my clients throughout the many years that I've helped in this space. Relational stress causes heart issues. Did you know there's a 34% increased chance of heart attacks as well as stress-induced chest pains. And this all comes from relational arguments and conflicts that increase the overall relational stress of each partner. This was actually studied by a team of epidemiologists at the University College of London. And in addition, people in toxic relationships tend to have a higher number of cardiovascular issues that come from hypertension, high blood pressure, diabetes, and heart disease. Relational stress also causes gastrointestinal issues. These occur as a result of increased anxiety. And if you think about it, the gastrointestinal tract includes everything from our mouth all the way through elimination. And toxic relationship stress in the GI tract may cause things like cold sores, heartburn, upset stomach, nausea, IBS, bloating, constipation, and diarrhea. Relational stress also causes emotional distress, and this is more on a spectrum. On one end, people are emotionally numb or flatlined, where they're unable to feel any emotion. And then on the opposite end, they're in an emotional dysregulation, where one identifies very deeply with their emotions. The emotional roller coaster can mean the person cycles between being sad, angry, smiling, confusion, laughing, and unhappiness. And this cycling causes a scary state when the emotions seem to have a mind of their own and the person can't get them under control. And this is such a bad place, emotional distress, and it just paves the way for even more mental health and physical health problems if this isn't brought under control. Relational stress also causes serious sleep issues, also known as insomnia. The inability to go to sleep or sleep throughout the night can be debilitating, and it can be debilitating long term. The body and the mind repairs itself overnight through rest, relaxation, and sleep. Any lack of sleep can lead to low energy, mood swings, and can also activate this weird obsession with the inability to sleep, which makes sleep even harder to obtain by the person. Overall, without sleep, the body can't release the buildup of the stress hormone cortisol, and that causes great inflammation and immune system distress. Relational stress also causes a weakened autoimmune system. The relational stress triggers the production of the stress hormone cortisol, and with elevated stress hormone cortisol pulsing throughout our bodies, it lowers our body's defenses against colds, infections, and diseases. Pairing a weakened immune system with a lack of sleep, the body can't release the buildup of cortisol, which increases even more inflammation and the immune system distress in our bodies. Relational stress also causes serious mental health issues. Depression and anxiety are always seen with chronic relational stress. Toxic relationships also have detrimental effects on the brain functioning as well. It may cause brain fog, trauma brain, short-term memory issues, and many cognitive processing problems. In addition, when people who may have experienced childhood traumas or other past relationship traumas, or who may have been betrayed in any relationship, these partners may experience symptoms similar to post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and they may experience memory flashbacks, emotional flashbacks, nightmares, hyper-alertness, hypervigilance, emotional irritability, and wanting to isolate. Even mental issues can be even worse for those with past relationships that were less than stellar. And finally, relational stress causes skin issues, from rashes, itchy patches, scaly bumps. Skin issues and anxiety are commonplace. And taking all of these health concerns in layers, this creates the perfect storm for so many mental health and physical health issues, ranging from autoimmune disease to hyperthyroidism, GI issues, anxiety, depression, hair falling out, the list goes on. Resolving relational stress is so important to any partner's mental health and physical well-being. Resolution may involve mental health counseling, better ABCs with assertiveness, boundaries, and communication, or leaving the relationship to reduce suffering and harm. There is help. Consider reaching out to a trusted person in your inner circle, a skilled coach with narcissistic abuse understanding, and again, any mental health professional who understands toxic relationships and narcissistic abuse.